Okay, this came up on Facebook, and it started a story. And of course, it's Facebook, so I had to, squeeze the story down to a couple of lines. And I thought, you know what? This would be good on my radio show. I will tell it on my radio show and expand it and tell you the story in its full version.
It's time to remember the magic.
So this happened...
it was back last October, I believe it was.
No, actually, this happened back last August 1998. Might have been September, but in my head, I'm getting the vibe that actually it was August 1998. So me and Wendy, who was my girlfriend at the time, she's not anymore. That came out sounded like, oh, she's not anymore. Thank God for that. No, we broke up and then 9 months later, February 99, March 99, we broke up. So we moved into this apartment, the one right here, in June 1998. This very apartment I'm in right now. I've lived here for 12 and a half years. Well, why didn't you ever get a house? You're asking. I looked into getting a house in 2004. I had a job, but I wasn't making, what was it, $10 an hour, $11 an hour, and it wasn't enough to get a house, so I didn't get a house. And I'm about to sign a new lease in March, I hope. You think at this point they just give me the damn apartment? Alright, August 1998. Me and Wendy had been living in this apartment for a couple of months, month or two. And I wanted to eat like someone who doesn't live with their parents anymore. This isn't my first apartment, and it's not like, yay, I'm 29, I finally have my first apartment. No, I didn't move out of my parents' house until I was 25. And again, we can blame that on George Bush Sr. George Bush Sr. collapsed, Reagan collapsed it.
It's about as likely as you're being run over by a horse in your bathtub.
Bush couldn't fix it. The economy in the early 90s, which meant it was almost impossible for me to get a job, no matter how much I looked, until Clinton came in and saved the economy, and in 1993 I was able to get a job and keep a job, and was able to move out of my parents' house when I was 25, October 94. It's just historical fact.
Well, let's not play these silly games. Honestly, I'm just not in the mood for it.
So yeah, this wasn't my first apartment. But my head interprets time much slowly than it actually happens. I think what it is that my brain interprets time slowly, and then when it finally hits that something is 10, 13, or 30 years ago, it's like, well, when did that happen? So yes, I had been on my own for almost 4 years when me and Wendy got the apartment. October 1994 is when I was finally able, when there was finally a good economy, thank you Bill Clinton, historical fact, when there was finally a good economy where I could get and keep a job and could finally, get out of my parents' house, get my own place. So yeah, I'd been on my own for 4 years, and we moved into here. And still in my brain, it all still seemed like, I'm not living with my parents anymore. I do whatever I want, which of course I'd already been doing for the last 4 years, but still. So I was going to live like I was on my own. I am going to eat. Oh, I've always wanted to, but you're living with your parents. And even if you're 23 years old, your mother is still going to say, oh, don't eat all that. And you're kind of like, well, okay. So I'm living without parental supervision. Earlier in the day when I was out with my grandma shopping, well, there was nobody to tell me, don't do that. So I did it.
It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
And while I was at the store, I bought a package of breakfast sausage. Not the links, the patties. A nice, one of those tubes of breakfast sausage that you cut up. I don't know what the size. Are they like 6 ounces? Well, I bought that. And when I got, and later that night, took out the frying pan and turned on the heat. And opened up sliced the plastic off the tube of sausage and just peeled off the wrapping and plopped that sausage loaf right there on the plate. Got out a knife and cut it up. Cut it into nice slices, thick slices. Oh, this is going to be good. I love sausage. Salty and the spices, and it's fantastic. This is going to be great. So I put the 4 patties in the frying pan, and they're frying up and making that sizzling sound, and just the smells of sausage cooking, and it smells so good. Oh, this is going to be great. And fry it up and flip it over and fry up the other side and until it's like kind of blackish, not burnt, but dark brown with some black. I like them crispy. So I'm cooking this up, and I take out the first 4 and put them on the plate so that they'll cool down. Put the next 4, and lather, rinse, repeat until I ran out of sausage patties. And while the 4 were cooking, I would eat the 4 that I took out. So they were cool enough to where I could eat them, and I'd eat the 4, and this is yummy, this is good. Oh, sausage! God, I love sausage. The Italian sausage, breakfast sausage link, breakfast sausage patties, Italian sausage, bratwursts. Oh, they're the best. That sausage is the friggin' best food in the world. Nothing is better than sausage. I don't care about your friggin' fancy, expensive caviar, flibber flobber food. I don't care about your friggin' vegetarian or your Indian food or your high-class snooty crap. Nothing is better than sausage in all of its forms.
So good. Nothing was ever so good.
Oh, this is good. This is yummy. And I just lather, rinse, repeat until I was out of sausage. And I just ate. Oh, God, it was great. I ate an entire 6-ounce tube of sausage. The whole thing.
All done.
Oh,
if you survive,
good.
Please come again.
That was fantastic. I have crazy high cholesterol, but I'm 29. I can afford to eat. My arteries can take an onslaught of breakfast sausage patties. I'm still young. I can deal with. I can take it. So and I'll just do it this once, and from now on, it's sausage moderation when I have sausage, because I just want to do it this one time, just to see what it's like to not have anybody say, "Oh, don't eat all that," or someone say, "Hey, can I have some of that?" No, all me, the entire tube of sausage, fried up in my mouth, sitting, digesting in my gut. So yummy. And I went on with the rest of the night as I usually did, watching TV, making supper for Wendy for when she would come home, and watching Letterman and staying up until, I think back then I stayed up to like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd go to bed. So I go to bed and I go to sleep, and sometime around 6 o'clock-ish, kind of not feeling so well. And Wendy had gotten up. I think she was going to school at the time, and she's taking her shower and doing her hair. We have 2 bathrooms, so it's not like if she's in the shower, I gotta wait until she's done before I do anything. Really, I'm just laying in bed, just kind of just try and ride this out. It'll be okay. Because back in 1985, I caught an ulcer. And it wasn't one of those ulcers where it just hurts like hell in your gut. No, I wasn't lucky. I got the ulcer that makes you throw up when you get nervous. So I found ways around that. I'm able to control my nausea. When I get nauseous, I don't feel so hot, but I'm able to keep it from living up to its full potential all over the floor or wherever. One of the tricks that I found out was nice name for a song, by the way. if I could get Robert Plant's big log in my head,
Sounds crazy to me.
it seemed to have a calming sense on my stomach. So, just take Robert Plant's big log and run it in through my brain over and over.
Just another example of knowing what to say and when to say it.
I'd still feel nauseous, but not to where it's like, get out of the way. So I'm lying in bed, 6 o'clock in the morning, August 1998, the morning after my sausage binge.
He felt he deserved an extended binge.
And Wendy's getting ready, and I'm just laying in bed, just like, just ride it out. I can do this. I've been through worse. Ugh. And another reason was I didn't want to throw up around my girlfriend. I mean, at that point, we'd been together for over 2 years, so, she's seen me naked. There's no way I could do anything, there could be anything more humiliating than that. But still, I don't want to, I don't want people to hear me throw up or to throw up around people. It's not pleasant and it's embarrassing. I mean, yeah, she's already seen me naked and she's seen me in more embarrassing things, but I'd like to keep vomiting special just for me.
You're doing this out of the goodness of your own slimy little coal-colored heart.
So I'm waiting, and I'm waiting for her to finish up and get ready and go and leave for work or school or wherever she was going. But it's like, this is getting worse. I think I can hold out until Wendy leaves, but I'm going to go in the other bathroom, and I'm going to sit by the toilet in case it all comes up before she leaves. So Wendy got ready, and, she saw me sitting by the toilet, and she asked, if I was all right, what was going on. And the best thing for me to do when I'm really sick is not talk. Any kind of throat moving, besides swallowing, it just kind of makes things worse. It's sort of like, if air is being expelled out the mouth, well, then the stomach must think, well, it's time to get rid of everything out of the mouth. So I just saying, sausage. And she just kind of nods, and, she says bye-bye, and I think I grunt or something. So she's gone, and it's 6:30. And I'm thinking, oh God, I don't want to. But I think I got to, because this isn't getting better. This is just going to get worse, isn't it? Just do it and get it over with. It's like a Band-Aid right off. Ugh. So I assume the position, head's right over that bowl, and just I'm staring down into the water, into the toilet, and that and you get that toilet smell. It's not dirty. It smells like water in a clean toilet, but it triggers off all the vomit memories you have as a kid of when you get your face that close to a toilet that you can smell the toilet, the water in the clean bowl and that kind of stuff. So, master of the nausea as I am, I also know what to do to get things going. It doesn't involve sticking my finger down my throat. That's gross. My finger has been touching the side of the toilet and, touching the bathroom floor. So I think what it is I relax my nausea control and just let things happen because they're going to happen. And so I just relax it and then there's a couple of dry heaves and then, here it all comes. You just feel it rumbling, and you can hear it in your ears. You just hear the inside of your body. You hear that gurgling noise of everything in your stomach barreling up through your food tube, and it's all coming up, and then right out, all just coming, and it's coming. It's just pouring out of me, and it's all you just taste all the sausage and the stomach goo and out of my nose, and I can't breathe, and it's all coming. And then it's all, the last bit of it kind of dribbles out. It's like, oh God, it's over.
He was bad and he was flush.
I had some of the toilet paper and, wipe the nose and the mouth and down there, just... And there it is in the toilet. All that yummy sausage I had last night, just chunks and stuff and just floating and just... Ugh.
I bet he ain't exactly Chef Boyardee in the kitchen.
And I flush it and I brush my teeth and, do some extra rinsing with water and mouthwash. And then I go lay down. Just for a bit to hopefully try and get some sleep before I have to get up at 9 and go over to my grandma's, do the grandma thing I would do every day. So there you go. That's my sausage story.
I like stories.
And I take that as sort of the same way I would raise kids. As long as it's not going to kill them, I would think go ahead and let them get hurt. Let them do something stupid. Because if they do something stupid and they get hurt or it's terrible, they're never going to do it again. And never ever again have I sat down, as much as I've wanted to, eaten an entire tube or package or just row of sausage. Keep it limited to 2, 3 at the very most of any type of sausage product. That's all it took. I know, most people, when they're 29 and they're out on their own, they wind up vomiting after a big night of getting unbelievably drunk. Well, since I don't drink, I stuff my pie hole with sausage. Take that to mean what you will.
Hello, it's the Geico Gecko. Did you know that 15 minutes with Eric Paul Johnson could turn you into a lesbian?